Welcome back to the channel Rare X Coins. Today we're diving into the rich history of Top 4. First time, the 1919 quarter dollar from the beautiful Standing Liberty Quarter Series, a true masterpiece of early 20th century American coinage. From its stunning design by Herman A. McNeil to its 90% silver value and rare mint mark varieties, this coin holds both historical importance and collector appeal. Stay with us as we explore its history, features, and why the 1919 quarter remains so special today. The 1919 quarter dollar is part of the famous Standing Liberty Quarter Series, one of the most beautiful silver coins ever produced by the United States Mint. This quarter was minted during a very important period in American history. Just after the end of World War I, the coin reflects both artistic beauty and historical significance, making it highly desirable among collectors today. The Standing Liberty Quarter Series was designed by sculptor Herman A. McNeil. The design was first introduced in 1916 and replaced the earlier barber quarter design. On the obverse front, Lady Liberty is shown standing between two pillars. In her right hand she holds an olive branch symbolizing peace, and in her left hand she holds a shield representing protection and strength. The 1919 issue belongs to the Type II design, which had modifications compared to the earlier 1916-1917 Type I coins. In Type II, Liberty's figure was slightly covered with chain mail, and 3 stars were added below the eagle on the reverse side. On the reverse back of the 1919 quarter, a powerful eagle is shown flying high, symbolizing freedom and national pride. The coin contains 90% silver and 10% copper, with a total weight of 6.25 grams and a diameter of 24.3 m. Because of its high silver content, even worn or damaged 1919 quarters still hold intrinsic silver value. The 1919 quarter dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, and San Francisco S Mint Mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest number, making it more common. However, the 1919 D and especially the 1919 S are more difficult to find in higher grades. Many coins from this year were heavily circulated, so finding one in fine or uncirculated condition is rare and valuable. One important feature of the 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter is that the date is often worn off in circulated examples. Because the date was raised on the surface, it easily faded after years of use. This makes well-preserved examples much more desirable among collectors. In higher mint state grades, the coin can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and mint mark. Rare high-grade 1919s examples can reach very strong prices at auctions. Historically, 1919 was a year of recovery for the United States after World War I. The coin reflects the nation's transition from war to peace. Liberty, holding both an olive branch and a shield, symbolizes America's readiness for peace but strength in defense. Today, the 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter remains one of the most admired classic American coins. Its artistic design, silver content, and historical importance make it a favorite among numismatists. Whether found in worn condition or high-grade mint state, the 1919 quarter dollar represents an important chapter in United States coinage history. Next up, the 1920 quarter dollar belongs to the famous Standing Liberty Quarter Series, one of the most beautiful coins ever produced by the United States Mint. This coin was part of the early 20th century redesign of American coinage, a time often called the Renaissance of American coinage, when the U.S. government invited talented sculptors to create more artistic designs for circulating money. The Standing Liberty Quarter was first introduced in 1916, replacing the barber quarter, and by 1920 it had already become a strong symbol of American pride and freedom. The coin was designed by famous sculptor Herman Atkins McNeil. On the obverse front, Lady Liberty is shown standing confidently between 2 pillars. In her right hand she holds an olive branch symbolizing peace, and in her left hand she holds a shield representing protection and strength. Above her head are 13 stars representing the original American colonies. The design reflects the period of World War I, as the United States had recently emerged from the war and wanted to show both readiness for defense and a desire for peace. The reverse back of the 1920 quarter features a powerful flying eagle, a traditional American symbol of freedom and national strength. The eagle is shown in motion, flying high with wings spread wide. Around the eagle are stars and the inscriptions United States of America and quarter dollar. The motto "In God We Trust" appears on the obverse. This combination of artistic beauty and patriotic symbolism makes the 1920 Standing Liberty Quarter one of the most admired coins in U.S. history. The 1920 quarter was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, and San Francisco S Mint Mark. The mint mark, when present, appears on the obverse side near the bottom. In 1920, millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, so they are not extremely rare in lower grades. However, high-grade examples, especially those with full details on Liberty's head called full head by collectors, can be quite valuable in today's market. In terms of composition, the 1920 Standing Liberty quarter is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. Because it contains real silver, even heavily worn or dirty condition coins still have intrinsic metal value. Over the years, many of these coins were melted for silver or lost in circulation, making well-preserved pieces more desirable among collectors. Today, the value of a 1920 quarter depends mainly on its condition and mint mark. Circulated examples may range from around $10 to $40 or more depending on wear and silver prices. Better condition coins can be worth several $100s, and high-grade certified examples may reach into the thousands at auctions. Coins with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal scratches are especially prized. In conclusion, the 1920 quarter dollar is not just a piece of silver. It is a historical artifact representing America's strength and hope after World War I. Its artistic design, silver content, and historical background make it an important and collectible coin. Whether found in old collections or inherited from family members, the 1920 Standing Liberty quarter continues to attract collectors and investors around the world. Next up, the 1928 quarter dollar of the United States belongs to the beautiful and highly collectible Standing Liberty quarter series, which was minted from 1916 to 1930. This coin was designed by the talented American sculptor Herman Atkins McNeil, and it replaced the earlier Barber quarter designed by Charles E. Barber. The Standing Liberty design is considered one of the most artistic and detailed coins ever produced by the United States Mint. In 1928, the quarter dollar was struck in 3 different mint locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco S mint mark. The Philadelphia issue does not carry a mint mark and was produced in much larger numbers compared to the branch mints. The Denver and San Francisco coins, especially the 1928s, are more difficult to find in higher grades today, making them more desirable to collectors. Design and features. The obverse front of the 1928 Standing Liberty quarter shows Lady Liberty standing confidently between 2 pillars. She holds an olive branch in her left hand, symbolizing peace, and a shield in her right hand, representing protection and readiness to defend the nation. Above her head are 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies of the United States. The date 1928 appears at the bottom of the coin. The reverse back features a majestic eagle in full flight, symbolizing freedom and strength. The inscriptions United States of America and EPLURIBUS UNUM appear above the eagle, while the denomination quarter dollar is displayed below. By 1928, the coin was part of what collectors call the Type 3 Standing Liberty design. Earlier versions, 1916-1917 Type 1, had Liberty's chest exposed, which created public controversy. The design was modified later in 1917 Type 2, and in 1925 the date was recessed into the coin to prevent it from wearing off too quickly. Therefore, the 1928 issue features the improved, recessed date style. Historical background. The late 1920s were a time of economic growth in the United States, just before the Great Depression began in 1929. The 1928 quarter was minted during the final years of the Standing Liberty series. In 1932, the design was replaced by the famous Washington quarter, which honored the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The Standing Liberty quarter series ended in 1930, making the 1928 coin part of the final chapter of this classic American design. Mintages of the 1928 quarter. 1928 Philadelphia no mint mark, high mintage more common. 1928 D Denver, lower mintage scarcer. 1928 S San Francisco, lowest mintage of the year and more valuable in higher grades. Because many of these coins were heavily circulated, finding one in high uncirculated condition today can be challenging. Composition and specifications. Metal 90% silver, 10% copper. Weight 6.25 grams. Diameter 24.3 m. Edge reeded. Since the coin contains silver, it always has intrinsic metal value in addition to collector value. Collectability and legacy. Today, the 1928 Standing Liberty quarter is admired for its elegant and classical design. Even coins in worn condition are appreciated because of their historical significance and silver content. Higher-grade examples with sharp details and strong luster are highly sought after by numismatists. The 1928 quarter represents the artistic beauty of early 20th century American coinage. It stands as a reminder of a period when U.S. coins were designed not just as currency, but as small works of art. For collectors, owning a 1928 Standing Liberty Quarter means holding a true piece of American history in their hands. Next up, the 1930 quarter dollar belongs to the famous Washington Quarter series, which is one of the most collected coins in American history. However, it is very important to clarify that there was no Washington Quarter minted in 1930. The Washington Quarter design officially began in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. So if you are asking about a 1930 U.S. quarter, you are actually referring to the earlier design known as the Standing Liberty Quarter. The year 1930 was the final year of production for the Standing Liberty Quarter series, making it historically important for collectors. Historical background: Standing Liberty Quarter, 1930. The Standing Liberty Quarter was first introduced in 1916 and was designed by famous American sculptor Herman Atkins McNeil. The design featured Lady Liberty standing confidently between two pillars. In her right hand she holds an olive branch symbolizing peace, and in her left hand she holds a shield representing protection and strength. On the reverse side there is a majestic flying eagle, which represents freedom and American pride. By 1930, the United States was entering the early years of the Great Depression. Coin production numbers were lower compared to some earlier years because of reduced economic activity. That is why 1930 quarters are sometimes harder to find in high-grade condition. Mint marks in production. The 1930 Standing Liberty Quarter was minted at 3 different U.S. mint locations. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Denver Mint, D mint mark. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Each mint produced different quantities. Coins from the San Francisco Mint are generally scarcer, especially in high grades. Because 1930 was the last year of this design, collectors consider it a key end-of-series date. Design details. By 1930, the design had already gone through modifications. Earlier versions, 1916-1917, showed Liberty with a more exposed figure, but later versions covered her with chain mail for modesty. Also, from 1925 onward, the date was recessed into the coin to prevent it from wearing off easily. This is why most 1930 quarters still have readable dates compared to earlier years. Metal composition. The 1930 quarter was made of 90% silver, 10% copper. It weighs 6.25 grams and contains approximately 0.1808 troy ounces of pure silver. Because of its silver content, even heavily worn coins still have intrinsic metal value. Value in today's market. The value of a 1930 Standing Liberty Quarter depends on its condition and mint mark. Very worn condition, usually valued mainly for silver content. Fine to very fine condition, worth significantly more than silver value. Uncirculated condition, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade and mint mark. Full head designation FH. If Liberty's head details are fully visible, the coin becomes much more valuable. High-grade examples, especially from the San Francisco Mint, are highly desired by collectors. Importance in U.S. coin history. The year 1930 marks the end of the artistic Standing Liberty design before it was replaced in 1932 by the Washington Quarter. The transition symbolized a new era in American coinage, shifting from symbolic liberty imagery to honoring a real historical figure, George Washington. Today, the 1930 quarter is remembered as a beautiful and historic silver coin from the pre-Washington Quarter era. It represents both the artistic excellence of early 20th century coin design and the difficult economic period just before the Great Depression fully impacted America.